to welcome you here to Colorado Springs. The national office is here, and we relocated here 2.5 years ago. Gene asked me to kind of give you an overview of the Olympic movement and what happened this year and what are our chances in the future. Let me share with you the different organizations that allow us, number one, to be here as part of the Olympic movement. And even though we're not an Olympic sport yet, why are we allowed to be here? First of all, I'm sorry I don't have a thing here to show you, but there's an overall umbrella organization that governs all international sport and national sport, and that's known as the International Olympic Committee. They're the ones that determine the program, they determine the sports that are in it, and they determine the international federations that are part of it. On the side of the IOC are the international federations, which is the WKF. The WKF is responsible to run the World Championships, and once we become an Olympic sport, to have the quotas and run through various regional organizations how the various athletes are going to qualify for the Olympic Games. One thing you should know is that every year, due to the proliferation of new countries worldwide, less and less athletes from each country can qualify. The International Olympic Committee has a maximum of 10,000 athletes. So the more countries you have, the less athletes from each country are going to qualify. For example, from the United States, at one time we were sending as many as 750 athletes, okay, to compete in the Olympic Games. This past year in Beijing, we sent 432. Under the IOC, okay, whose prime concern is the Olympic Games, is the regional organizations. The Pan American PASO, Pan American Sports Organization, that runs every 4 years in this hemisphere. A year prior to the Olympic Games, in all Olympic sports, the same type of operation that goes on in the Olympic Games. Again, it's qualifying, it's quota system. At the same time, the WKF, after it runs its World Championships, both juniors and adult, you have regionals. You have them in Asia, you have them in this hemisphere, which is a PKF, and most of you, some of you, and I can see you're wearing the uniforms here, have either competed in the Worlds or competed in the PKF. All right? That's kind of like a junior part to the whole IOC. But we as a sport are responsible to qualify athletes for it and to participate in it. Under all of this becomes the countries. Okay? In this hemisphere, there's 42 countries that make up the PASO movement. Under those countries, you have national sports organizations. Okay? For the United States, it's the United States Olympic Committee that back in 1978, what's called the National Sports Law went into effect that gave the United States Olympic Committee power over all sport in the United States that is Pan Am or Olympic. The United States Olympic Committee has the responsibility to govern the sports in the Pan Am and Olympic. There are anywhere from 6 to 8 Pan Am only sports. That means someone like ourselves, which is karate, okay, is on the PASO program for the next games, which are in 2011, to be held in Guadalajara, Mexico. There's a very funny and a tough process to go through because PASO regulations say, okay, it's the sports that are on the Olympic program for the next Olympic Games. And then we're going to go out and we're going to pick the other sports. We're not obligated to take all 6 sports or 8 sports. Okay? We're very fortunate, this only happened 2 weeks ago, that we were included as part of the 2011 Games. The USOC, if we had not been in there, the USOC would have come back and said, as of January 1st, you're no longer a national governing body. That's the way it works. It's not fun and games. It's very, very serious. And we have to have our act together on the international level to make sure we stay in the games. And that happens with each of the other sports as well. Now, we, as a national governing body, have definite responsibilities to the United States Olympic Committee and to each one of you in this room. And that's your athletes' rights and your coaches' rights. And part of that whole system was one of the things that has put the USNKF into a restructuring system. Okay? And I think in the future, with a strong national staff and a functional board that only makes out the policies and the procedures, and then allows the national staff to carry out the functions, it'll be much more of a streamlined method of operation. And I think you've seen the last 2 years, 2.5 years, a lot more funding going in to the athletes, especially on the senior level, in which almost all of their expenses are covered, as well as the coaches, and to a certain extent, the coaches and so on that travel with the juniors. We hope that as this whole thing develops, that we will be able to underwrite most of this for our teams. So just want to tell you that we feel that the future is very, very bright for this organization.
Hi, I'm Gene Tabone, and I'm the National Director for our Grassroots Youth Olympic Development Karate Program. Very proud to be here at the U.S. Olympic Training Center here in Colorado Springs this weekend, just before Thanksgiving. 4 days of grueling training and information by some of the highest level people in the sport of karate. We have Sensei Hariharu Igaki for our kumite. We have Sensei and Dr. Clay Moore for kata, also Kanazawa World Champion. We've had many motivational speakers from USADA, from the Olympic Training Center here, to speak to our athletes on how important it is to know the right decisions when it comes to drug and doping and enhancements, so that they don't disqualify themselves or they ruin their bodies to a point that it keeps them from becoming the elite athlete they want to be. We have Sensei Gary Tetsui, who is doing our referee course and teaching the coaches as well as the athletes scoring criteria, understanding what it takes to get that score at the national level as well as the international or Pan-American level. It's very important that they understand that a punch just isn't a punch, it has a certain criteria behind it as well as the kick, so that they can get that score. It's not wasted technique. So they're developing these things with the strategies and techniques of Sensei Igaki, and with the PowerPoint presentation by Sensei Gary Tetsui, it kind of brings that all together. One of the things that I'm most gratified about is that when you have these young students who, as Sensei Igaki had mentioned from last year, moved on from the information we were able to give them and work all year to go to the team trials and make it for the first time to the Junior Pan American Championships in El Salvador and do very well, along with receiving new experiences, and then qualifying to go to Rabat, Morocco for the World Championships with 84 countries and represent Team USA, where we finished with the most medals we have ever finished with as a junior national team at the World Championships. That is a testament that we are making our ripple across the country, that our grassroots development is the place where we are reaching out to the different senseis and instructors of both karate, of Japanese and Okinawan, to give them the opportunities to know what it takes for your athletes to become this high elite level, if that's what you desire to go to. We have a bridge of opportunity to be a part of this particular type camp. Whether you're here at the Olympic Training Center or you become part of one of the state organizations like Washington, Ohio, Florida, New Orleans, California, Northern and Southern, Oregon, and we have places that are coming in daily who have already made mention that they want to become part of this grassroots development program, because they see already its developments have already started to ripple across this country. Again, with this being the second one, and next year should be one that's going to take us even to higher levels, we wish anybody who is interested in our grassroots development program to contact me, Gene Tabone, the National Director for Grassroots Development. You can either go to the National Federation website and look under Technical Committee. I'm a Technical Committee member. Or you can just Google me, Gene Tabone, and you'll find my website. Contact me with an email, and we'll let you know what grassroots development program we have in your state or your area, or when we may have the next grassroots development coming open, that we may have you a part of this. Again, thank you very much.
I'm Hideharu Igaki, a grassroots coach and national coach. And this is the second year for the grassroots program camp. Last year we have a very good success camp, and most of athletes from last year went to the Junior Pan Am and Junior World Championship. And we'd like to create more strong athletes for the future athletes for the USA. And this is a program. And this is second year, but we have a biggest attendance ever this kind of program.
My name is Clay Morton. I'm a retired NKF athlete. I've been on the U.S. national team for many years, 10, 15 years. And right now I'm serving on the NKF board of directors. And Sensei Tabone asked me to come teach the kata portion of this developmental camp. And right now we're working with the kata athletes, developing technique, how to increase their athletic performance with speed and conditioning and technique. And then we're having the coaches learn the direct techniques and drills to help foster their athletes to develop better kata performance, body control, technique, and overall mental strategic improvement. So right now they're going through their routines. This camp has been a fantastic experience for me personally to work with such great athletes and coaches who are just starting their journey on to the team or into the federation or into the nationals or into hopefully international competition. And the spirit here at the Olympic Training Center, the Olympism is contagious. And the idea is that the athletes come, we train hard, they learn interesting new combinations and get development, but they also have fun and they get to see, eat in the cafeteria with other Olympians, see the pictures on the wall, see the quotes on the wall, to help them catch the spirit of the Olympism and the Olympic movement, and hopefully karate will be a part of in the near future. And so they can take that home and train and train and train so they can improve on their journey toward one day hopefully being an Olympian.
Hello, my name is Chad Egan. I'm a former U.S. national team member and co-owner of the Nihon Karate Dojo in Buena Park. I was asked by Sensei Tabone to come down to be a grassroots coach, which I'm very, very honored to be here to coach these athletes. Just wanted to talk about the grassroots program in general. I think it's a genius idea, and it's something that I wish was available to me as an athlete. In my day, though we had great senseis and great coaches, a lot of these concepts we had to reach out on our own and develop these concepts by ourselves, not really knowing if we were doing them correctly. I think the grassroots program is going to raise the bar for karate across the whole United States. Basically, we're taking athletes at a young age and we're giving them the tools to succeed. And they take that back to their dojo, and also us as grassroots coach, we take the ideas back to our dojo, and it spreads. So these kids are going to be practicing at an elite level at an early age. So I think it's basically going to develop karate across the United States in a major way.
Hi, I'm Rick Martin. I'm from Florida, and I'm one of the coaches here at this grassroots camp. And this is our first time here, and we're very, very honored to be here. This actually is the first time of any practitioner in the style of Uechi-ryu Karate to come to the U.S. Olympic Training Center. So needless to say, my three kids, Erica, Tori, and Renee, are just overwhelmed with all of what they're learning. The level of instruction is unparalleled with anything we've ever seen before. We've got one of the top 5 kata champions in the world. We've got Sensei Igaki with Kumite. So they're very sore, having a great time, making a lot of friends here. And I think what we'll take away from this is the Olympic attitude and teaching people that the champion is all in your attitude and the way you pursue your martial arts and in life. Whether you win the medal or you don't, you always walk away strong and you walk away proud. We like the underlying tone of martial arts here with discipline, courtesy, respect, integrity, honesty, camaraderie, friendship, support. Everybody competes, but everybody works as a team. That's something that we feel is very, very important. On some of the training side of it, we've been really enlightened as to some of the drills and the calisthenics and the plyometrics that apply directly to martial arts training to help with the explosiveness of their martial arts kumite, of all of the little details that enhance a kata that make the difference between good and great. So the amount of information that we've been privileged to is second to none. The relationships that are being built here are great, and we all understand the value of long-term relationships in anything we do. So we've taken away a lot, and we hope to put ourselves in a position to be able to give back sometime as well. So I'd like to thank Sensei Tabone and all the organizers that made this happen, and we look forward to the future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Darryl Goodyear, and I'm the Assistant National Director for the Grassroots Karate program that we're holding here in Colorado Springs. Last year we came for the pilot program. We had 50 kids, and our children that we brought from Louisiana were still going through the recovery from Hurricane Katrina. Each child that came had lost everything in Katrina, and for us just to be here was an accomplishment. And what the future of this program is endless. You know, we can see holding this program more than once a year and doing it. We have more kids this year than we did last year, but the potential for growth is endless and the possibilities are never ending for this program.
But in the top 16 in the world, out of 82 countries, we had like 9 athletes, give or take 9 athletes. But more importantly, we had 7 athletes that were in the top 10 in the world, meaning they made it to the quarterfinals or the fight right before the quarterfinals. That is huge, because to a coach, we sit back and look at it and say, wow, if we could just get a little more, we can get a little more support. We know where that program can go next year. So I think we got a really bright future, and again, congratulations to Eugene and Coach Igaki for what you guys did. You did a great job.